Hello, in this video I'm going to be showing how to do setup B for Click Clock Wood Early. So this is the second frame. So let's go, the beginning is the same. There's your coordinates for that. You can pause it if you want. There's your coordinates for that if that raw guy's in the way. And you gotta gold feather him, and I like to try and time my talent shot so I go underneath the honeycomb right after it bounces, because if you get the honeycomb, then it can cause lag frame sometimes. The audio cue is to pause right after the 54th cluck, and the visual cue is to use the little black dot right over there, right when this goes off screen. Now this is this pause frame for setup B. You got it, then the back of this green Jinjo's head should be aligned, basically aligned with the green moss here on the wall. That's how you know if you got setup B. So unpause. You can beak barge right after Banjo looks fully to his right. There's your coordinates, 146. So beak barge. Again, you can go to your next step right after Banjo looks fully to his right. It's right there. That's your coordinates for after the beak barge. Now here what you're going to do, you're going to use the shock pad again, but unlike setup A, you're just going to hold straight left the entire time. You don't have to let go of left, and this is much easier. So you're going to use the shock pad, jump and hold A, don't touch anything until you hit the ground again, then hold Z and hold straight left on the joystick. And then just keep sliding, and then Banjo's going to change his direction a tiny bit at the end there. And right after he changes direction, you can let go of Z and then get into first person and go towards your next twirly. There's your coordinates, that's your angle. Get into first person, turn to the left. And I like to pause right before this goes off screen. So like it's really dark over here. I like to pause right when it starts to get dark, right when this dark spot starts to go off screen. That's when I like to pause. So this is the pause screen. Oh, that was fast. Whoops. I'll go back. So the cue for this is that you should just barely be able to see some of the dark spot at the side here. It depends on your TV, but you should be able to see some of the dark spot at the side here. Not too much and not too little. If you're one frame late, then these little hooks on the wall should be right beside the edge. That's how you know if you're a frame late. But this screen should be apparent. You should be able to just see some of this black shading. And then once you do that, you're gonna unpause, beak barge right away. That was the angle. Actually, let me go back to the angle. Sorry. You're gonna beak barge, and you're not gonna have to do a punch cancel afterwards, so that's nice. That's your angle, 127. Just beak barge. Just a simple beak barge. Right when Banjo looks to his right fully, then you can get into first person and start holding right. That's your coordinates after the beak barge. Hold to the right. Right when this darker spot goes off screen, that's when you pause. So you see this tree, this whole light spot. There's a little dark spot here. Right when this starts to go off screen, that's when you pause. Failed it again. That was a frame early. Or sorry, that was a frame late. Now this is the right screen. So you can tell if you got this by looking at the fourth honeycomb. There should be a black spot covering this fourth honeycomb completely, the top of the fourth honeycomb completely. That's how you know if you got that. So then you're going to unpause. What you're going to do is you're going to zoom, get out of first person. Then the best way that I find to get a nice consistent camera is to just zoom out, zoom in, then go back to medium zoom right after you leave first person. This allows the camera to settle as fast as possible. This is the angle, 88. So now the camera should be settled. You're going to look right here. I like to look over here for this next punch cancel. This should change just a bit if you got the punch cancel. Just like that. And there's my coordinates, 4.8. And now you're going to get into first person. Twirl to the left. Now what you're going to do, look for this black slash right here. Right after this whole black slash goes off screen. So right after this end goes off screen, that's when you pause. That was a frame late. Right there. So you're going to pause, and you can tell if this little honeycomb right here is being struck by this little black line. The top left of the honeycomb should be perfectly struck by this black line here. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention though. Right before this, right before you get into first person, you want to zoom out and then get into first person. So if you look at my inputs and you hear, listen, I press down C, then C up. That preps the camera for the next punch cancels. So yeah, after that, get this pause. Look at that slash. Get out of first person. It's an angle of 226. It should be zoomed out. Camera should be pretty much set. It should be still. If not, just wait a tiny bit, then it should be still. Now you're going to do 3 punch cancels. This is the most difficult part, but this zoomed out camera makes it easy. You want to look at this green moss over here. It should be very, very apparent if it changes or not. 1. There was 3.72. 2. There. 3. It should be very apparent. I just failed it a lot of times. But yeah. 1.48, that's the after the third cue. After that, I like to get into Talon Trot. I like to zoom in as well. It doesn't matter what you do with the zoom from here on out, but I personally like to zoom in here, then get into first person, twirl to the left. Yeah. Now, right here, there's going to be this little V shape. Right when this corner goes off screen, that's when I like to pause. I missed it there. Missed it one more time. Frame early. Frame early again. Right here. Okay, so it's easy to tell this one. Look at this egg. This black spot should be like hugging the right side of this egg, just like that, and it should be simple as that. Unpause. I like. I have a zoomed in camera now, so I like to go back to medium zoom, although it doesn't really matter. Now you're just gonna do 2 punch cancels. Again, do the first one with a short hop. If you're not, oh yeah, so it's an angle of 151 in Talon Trot. So it's an angle of 151 in Talon Trot, but the Talon Trot changes it by 180, so it's an angle of 331. So do the first one with a short hop. If you're not sure if you got it, then it's whatever. Just do the rest of your punch cancels with big jumps. And then beak bust at the peak of your jump and you're in. 2 punch cancels and you're in. And that should be it for setup B. I'll see you on the next one.